Our next award is the Lifetime Achievement Award in Clinical Care to Dr. James Stanley. The Lifetime Achievement Award in Clinical Care recognizes an outstanding physician who has distinguished himself through exceptional achievements in clinical care. Dr. Stanley is the Marion and David Handelman Professor of Vascular Surgery and Associate Chair of the Department of Surgery. He is a co-founder of the Frankel Cardiovascular Center and is a visionary behind our renowned pediatric renal vascular surgery program. During Dr. Stanley's tenure as head of the vascular surgery section, 1 in 8 vascular surgery program directors in the U.S. had trained at Michigan. Dr. Stanley has received many awards, to name but a few. The Vascular Disease Academic Award from the National Institutes of Health. He is one of only 3 surgeons to receive this award. Outside of the clinical activities, Dr. Stanley enjoys the unique culture of Ann Arbor, from the University Musical Society performances to athletic events. And very interestingly, he has an extensive butterfly collection, including all but 6 species found in the state of Michigan. It is an honor to present the 2014 Lifetime Achievement Award in Clinical Care to Dr. James Stanley.
Well, we are very lucky to be in a wonderful university and a very special medical school. And the 3 things we worry and work the hardest at, education and research and patient care, are all very important. We need to really keep all of them, I think, equally in our vision. Education to take care of ourselves when we get a little bit older and to take care of people throughout the world. Research, wouldn't it be wonderful in the laboratories if we could stop disease by finding things before they start? And obviously clinical care, and we have some very compassionate people. I had a mentor when I was in medical school here by the name of Bill DeWeese. Bill DeWeese was the most kind, quiet surgeon you can imagine. He would have failed miserably on any TV show. He was very slow in the operating room, but you know, he didn't miss a stroke. He did the first aortic renal bypass in the world. He was the first to put a sieve in the vena cava to prevent fatal pulmonary emboli. And in the laboratory, he did the first aortic coronary bypass in a dog. You would have known it as a student when you rotated with him. But he was my mentor. And I must say, I had originally been accepted by Bill Robinson to be an internist. And after my internship at Philadelphia General, I decided to be a surgeon. I liked everything. I liked dermatology and I liked pediatrics, and the switch was not hard for me. I had probably had some very long looks from some of my colleagues in the medicine department when I switched. But I have really revered people that are slick technicians. And I think it's important for the vulnerable patient that's asleep and can't negotiate with you. If you're going to be a surgeon, have a hero who's really a technically good person. I'm very honored to have this award tonight. You know, I mentioned this to Jim. I've served or lived with 6 deans, 2 interim deans, 4 vice presidents, 3 interim vice presidents for health affairs, and 4 surgical chairmen. And they've all influenced me to some degree or another. And they've really convinced me that this is the place where you should feel honored and privileged to be on the faculty. There are many that I'd like to thank. My more recent days have been spent over at the Mott Children's Hospital, and I must thank Valerie Castle, who was one of my nominees, for making it easy for an outlier to go over and actually be a welcome guest and take care of some really critically ill children. And Tom Wakefield, another one of my nominators, who's the head of vascular surgery and my boss in these days. And my wife, Nancy. For 53 years, she's been there at the beginning of the day and when I go home late at night, and has really brought relevance and importance, I think, to my life. And it's also made me realize how truly fortunate I am. When I was a little boy, I grew up in another college town. I had a lot of professors that lived on either side of me, and when I grew up, I sort of hoped I would make a difference and have an important job. And I must tell you, I've been an important part of a team that's been an important part to this world. Michigan's really got it together. I'm very lucky, and I think most of us in this room should consider ourselves very lucky to be within the shadows of this university and medical school. So thank you, Jim, very much for this wonderful honor.